The slave market of Zorath Prime was loud, bright, and cruel. Lights floated in the air like cold stars. Metal platforms moved up and down, showing lives for sale. Creatures from many worlds stood in rows, holding credit chips, watching, judging, buying. Humans were new here. Most aliens had only seen humans on broken news feeds, thin bodies, tired eyes, lost wars. Weak, they said, too emotional, easy to bend. The human stood on platform 7. He was taller than some, smaller than others. His clothes were simple and worn. His hands were tied, but his back was straight. His face showed fear, yes, but also something else. Calm, quiet, watching. The auctioneer lifted a claw and spoke in a sharp voice. Human male, healthy, obedient record unknown, starting price. Laughter cut through the crowd. Who would buy that? Too soft. He will not last a cycle. Credits still rose. Not many, but enough. Humans were cheap. At the back of the hall, a woman stood alone. She was not human. Her skin was silver blue, her eyes dark and old. Power sat on her shoulders like a heavy cloak. Others moved away from her without being told. She had bought many things in her life: ships, cities, people. She raised her hand once. The room went silent. Sold, the auctioneer said quickly, relief in his voice, to House Vera. The human was pulled from the platform and brought before her. Chains clinked as he stopped to step away. He did not look up right away. "Look at me," she said. He did. His eyes were brown, tired, not empty. That made her pause. "You belong to me now," she said. "You were paid for. Your life is mine." The human nodded once. "I understand." The guards stepped back. The deal was done. Around them the market moved on. Another life sold. Another scream. Another laugh. She leaned closer to him. Her voice dropped, low and sharp, meant only for him. "You paid for me. Now do it," she whispered. The words were old, a ritual, a command. Every species understood it. This was the moment humans usually broke. The human did not move. Seconds passed. Her eyes narrowed. "Did you not hear me?" "I heard you." Still, he did nothing. A small sound moved through the crowd. Confusion, interest. "You are slow or stupid." "Maybe neither," the human replied. A guard lifted a weapon. No one would stop it. Slaves were replaceable. The woman raised one finger. The guard froze. She studied the human's face. No anger, no challenge, just choice. "Why are you still standing?" she asked. "Because I am still me," he said. The answer made no sense. That annoyed her. "You are property," she said. "Your name, your past, your will, gone." The human took a breath. "My past is mine," he said softly. "You can use my body, you can end my life, but you cannot own what I choose." A ripple moved through the market. Some laughed, some hissed. No slave spoke like this. She felt something she did not like. Interest. "You think choice matters?" she asked. "It always does," the human said. She circled him slowly. "On my world, choice is a lie we tell children." "Then your world is very tired," he said. That should have been the end of him. She could have killed him with a word. Everyone expected it, even the human. Instead, she stopped. "For one cycle, you will serve me. You will obey my orders." "Yes." "And if you refuse?" "Then you will do what you believe is right, just as I will." Silence pressed in. She laughed once, sharp and short. "You are strange for a weak thing." "Humans are used to that," he said. She turned away. "Take him." As the guards led him out, whispers followed. "Something is wrong with that one. He should be dead." He smiled. The woman did not look back, but her step slowed. Behind her, the human allowed himself one small breath. This was not victory. This was only the beginning. House Vera was not a home. It was a moving fortress. Black walls curved like blades. Silent machines floated in the air. Servants from many species walked with lowered heads. Every step followed rules written long before they were born. The human was pushed inside. The doors closed behind him with a heavy sound. For the first time since the market, there was no noise, no shouting, no laughter, only quiet power. The woman walked ahead of him. Her steps were slow and controlled. She did not look back. "Stand there," she said at last. The human stopped. A thin metal ring slid around his neck. It hummed softly, a control device. Pain, paralysis, death, she could choose with a thought. "This collar listens to me," she said. "If I say kneel, you kneel." "Yes. If I say suffer." "I understand," he said calmly. She turned, eyes sharp. "You are not afraid." "I am, but fear does not decide everything." That answer again. Choice. Always choice. She circled him slowly. "On my world, choice is a lie we tell children." "Then your world is very tired," he said. That should have been the end of him. She could have killed him with a word. Everyone expected it, even the human. Instead, she stopped. "For one cycle, you will serve me. You will obey my orders." "Yes. And if you refuse, then you will do what you believe is right, just as I will." Silence pressed in. She laughed once, sharp and short. "You are strange for a weak thing." "Humans are used to that," he said. She turned away. "Take him." As the guards led him out, whispers followed. "Something is wrong with that one. He should be dead." He smiled. The woman did not look back, but her steps slowed. Behind her, the human allowed himself one small breath. This was not victory. This was only the beginning. House Vera was not a home. It was a moving fortress. Black walls curved like blades. Silent machines floated in the air. Servants from many species walked with lowered heads. Every step followed rules written long before they were born. The human was pushed inside. The doors closed behind him with a heavy sound. For the first time since the market, there was no noise, no shouting, no laughter, only quiet power. The woman walked ahead of him. Her steps were slow and controlled. She did not look back. "Stand there," she said at last. The human stopped. A thin metal ring slid around his neck. It hummed softly, a control device. Pain, paralysis, death, she could choose with a thought. "This collar listens to me," she said. "If I say kneel, you kneel." "Yes. If I say suffer." "I understand," he said calmly. She turned, eyes sharp. "You are not afraid." "I am, but fear does not decide everything." That answer again. Choice. Always choice. She circled him slowly. "On my world, choice is a lie we tell children." "Then your world is very tired," he said. That should have been the end of him. She could have killed him with a word. Everyone expected it, even the human. Instead, she stopped. "For one cycle, you will serve me. You will obey my orders." "Yes. And if you refuse, then you will do what you believe is right, just as I will." Silence pressed in. She laughed once, sharp and short. "You are strange for a weak thing." "Humans are used to that," he said. She turned away. "Take him." As the guards led him out, whispers followed. "Something is wrong with that one. He should be dead." He smiled. The woman did not look back, but her steps slowed. Behind her, the human allowed himself one small breath. This was not victory. This was only the beginning. House Vera was not a home. It was a moving fortress. Black walls curved like blades. Silent machines floated in the air. Servants from many species walked with lowered heads. Every step followed rules written long before they were born. The human was pushed inside. The doors closed behind him with a heavy sound. For the first time since the market, there was no noise, no shouting, no laughter, only quiet power. The woman walked ahead of him. Her steps were slow and controlled. She did not look back. "Stand there," she said at last. The human stopped. A thin metal ring slid around his neck. It hummed softly, a control device. Pain, paralysis, death. She could choose with a thought. "This collar listens to me," she said. "If I say kneel, you..."
Vera watched too. She told herself it was curiosity, nothing more. Yet each hour, the human broke another rule she did not know she had written. He obeyed, but he did not bend. He served, but he did not disappear. Late in the cycle, Vera received a message from Galactic Oversight. Subject, human anomaly. They had noticed. She looked at the screen, then at the live feed of the humans sitting quietly, sharing food with slaves who feared to speak. "Interesting," she whispered. The galaxy believed humans were weak. This one was changing the story, and stories were dangerous. Far away, systems began to watch, because a human had refused the role written for him, and the script was starting to tear. News did not spread loudly at first. It never did. It moved quietly, through data lines and private channels, through whispers between officials who pretended not to care. A human refused. A human survived. That alone was enough. In House Vera, life continued, but the air felt different. Servants walked more carefully. Guards watched the human more closely. Cameras followed his every move. The human noticed, of course. Humans always noticed. He worked in the outer halls now, where the walls were thin and the machines old. It was hard work, dangerous work, the kind given to those who did not matter. When a power conduit broke and burned a worker's arm, the human was the first to act. He tore cloth from his own shirt and wrapped the wound. He stayed until help came. "Why?" the injured worker asked through pain. "You will be punished for slowing production." "Then I will be punished," the human said simply. Punishment did not come. Vera watched the report in silence. "He broke protocol," an aide said. "Shall I issue correction?" "No," Vera replied. "Let it stand." The aide hesitated. "Others will copy him." Vera's eyes narrowed. "Then we will see who they truly are." In the lower quarters, slaves began to talk, quietly, carefully. "He helps. He listens. He says no and still lives." Hope flickered like a small flame, dangerous, fragile. One night cycle, a young servant asked him, "Are humans all like you?" The human thought for a moment. "No," he said. "Some are braver, some are worse. Most are just trying." "Trying to what?" "To choose," he answered. Above them, unseen, sensors recorded the words. Elsewhere, on a distant station, members of the Galactic Oversight Council reviewed the footage. Tall beings, cold minds, old laws. "This property displaying independent moral behavior," one said. "That is unacceptable." "Humans are emotional," another replied. "This was expected." "No," a third said. "Emotion breaks quickly. This did not." They marked the file. Human subject, priority observation. Back in House Vera, Vera summoned the human to her private chamber. He entered alone, no guards, no collar activation. "You are becoming a problem," she said. "So I've been told," the human replied. She studied him. "Do you understand what attention brings?" "Yes," he said. "It brings endings." "And you continue?" "Yes." "Why?" He looked around the chamber, at the art taken from fallen worlds, at trophies polished to shine. "Because if I stop, then I really am owned." Her fingers tightened. "You think this changes anything? The galaxy does not bend for one human. I know, he said, but sometimes it watches. That word again, watch. Alarms sounded suddenly, soft, controlled, official. An aide's voice filled the room. Lady Vera, Oversight has issued a formal inquiry. They request custody of the human. The room went cold. Vera did not respond at once. The human spoke first. If you give me to them, they will break me. Yes, she said. If you keep me, they will punish you. Yes. She faced him. You understand the cost. I do, he said. I'm sorry. That surprised her. You are sorry, she repeated, for putting you in a position where you must choose. She laughed quietly. You are a slave. You do not offer apologies to power. Then don't accept it as one. Accept it as truth. For the first time in many cycles, Vera felt uncertain. Oversight vessels arrived within hours, black, sharp, unmistakable. The house prepared for inspection. Servants were lined up, records cleaned, stories corrected. The human stood among the others, hands folded, eyes forward. An overseer stopped in front of him. This is the one, the human. Yes, she replied, he is mine. For now, the overseer said, the council will decide his final use. The human looked up, not afraid, not angry, watching. As they took him away, slaves lowered their heads. Some cried silently. Some felt something new burn in their chest. Vera watched the doors close. Across the galaxy, millions of eyes turned toward a single human, not because he was strong, not because he fought, but because he refused to disappear. And the galaxy was beginning to realize that was the most dangerous thing of all. The chamber of the Galactic Council was larger than cities and colder than space. Light poured down from 1,000 unseen sources. The walls were carved with the symbols of ancient victories. Every symbol meant the same thing. Power endures. The human stood alone at the center. No chains, no guards touching him. He did not need them. Around him, the council watched from high platforms, beings of metal, flame, flesh, and shadow, minds that had ruled stars before humans learned to shape fire. This is the subject, human, designation unregistered. A voice echoed without sound. The human looked up slowly. Property of House Vera, another voice added. Correction, I was purchased by House Vera. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. You speak without permission, the council warned. I was brought here to speak, he replied. Silence followed, then soft laughter. Interesting, one counselor said. You are smaller than expected. Yes, the human said. We have studied your species, another said. You fight among yourselves, you destroy your own worlds, you kneel to stronger beings. Yes, he said again. So why do you pretend to be different here? The council demanded. I am not pretending, I am choosing. A projection burst to life above him. Human history, wars, burning cities, crying children, broken planets drifting in dark space. This is humanity, violent, weak, in need of control. The human watched without turning away. This is true, he said. That answer caught them off guard. You admit failure? One asked. Yes, he replied. We fail often. Then you accept your place. No, the human said softly, because failure is not the end of us. The images shifted. Humans rebuilding, hands lifting rubble, small lights in darkness. We fall, the human continued. Then we stand again. Words, a counselor scoffed. You stand here because one owner tolerated you. A new voice entered the chamber. I tolerated nothing, Vera said as she stepped forward. Gasps spread. You defy protocol by appearing, the council said. I claim responsibility, Vera replied. He is under my protection. The human turned slightly, surprised.
You protect property? A counselor asked. I protect choice, Vera said. something this council seems to fear. Anger flared across the platforms. "Dishuman spreads instability," the council said. "Slaves question orders. Houses hesitate." "Because they are watching," the human said quietly. "Watching what?" the council snapped. "What happens when someone says no?" he answered. The chamber grew still. "You believe this justifies disruption?" a voice asked coldly. "No," the human said. "I believe it reveals it." The council conferred in silence. "Human," they said at last, "you will be returned to your owner. Your behavior will be corrected." "I will not change," he replied. "Then you will be erased." Vera stepped forward. "If you erase him," she said, "you prove him right." The council paused. "You risk much," they told her. "So does he," Vera said. The human looked up at the council one final time. "I will accept your judgment," he said, "on one condition." Laughter rose again. "You offer conditions now?" "Yes," he said. "If I am erased, erase me publicly." The laughter stopped. "Let the galaxy see," the human continued. "Let them see what happens to someone who chooses." Silence fell like gravity. The council realized the danger too late. Whatever they decided now, the galaxy was already listening, and the trial meant to break humanity had become something far more dangerous, a mirror. The council did not speak at once. Silence stretched across the chamber, deep and heavy. Billions of screens across the galaxy stayed fixed on one small human, standing alone under the lights. The execution protocol appeared in the air, a slow countdown. Not seconds, minutes. This was deliberate. Fear worked better when it had time. The human looked up at the numbers, then back at the council. His face did not change. "You are calm," one counselor said. "Do you believe this ends well?" "No," the human replied, "but I believe it matters." "To whom?" another asked. "To those watching," he said. Across slave quarters, factories, ships, and houses, beings leaned closer to their screens. Some had never seen a public judgment before. Others had, many times, but never like this. Vera stood still, hands clenched at her sides. She had power, wealth, armies. None of it helped now. "You can stop this," she said to the council. "You lose nothing by letting him go." "You are wrong," the council answered. "We lose control." The human turned slightly toward her. "Thank you," he said. "For what?" she asked quietly. "For standing," he replied. The countdown continued. 3 minutes. A counselor leaned forward. "Human, make your final statement." The chamber waited. The human took a slow breath. "I am not special. I am not strong. I am not important." The council listened despite themselves. "I am a human, and humans make choices, bad ones, good ones, sometimes brave ones." Images flashed across the screens, slaves watching, guards hesitating, workers pausing mid-task. "If you end me," the human said, "nothing changes today." The countdown reached 2 minutes. "But tomorrow," he went on, "someone will remember that I stood here and chose." A counselor interrupted sharply. "You believe memory defeats law?" "No," the human replied. "I believe it weakens fear." That word again, fear. "You call us afraid?" the council demanded. The human looked up at the towering figures. His voice stayed calm. "If I am weak, why does my choice scare you?" The question struck like a blade. Across the council platforms, movement stirred. Private channels opened. Arguments sparked. "He is manipulating the broadcast." "No, he is exposing us." "End this now." One counselor arose. "Proceed with erasure." Another hesitated. "If we do, unrest will follow. A single human cannot fracture the system." A third said, but doubt had entered. The countdown slowed. 1 minute. Vera felt it then, the shift, not loud, not clear, but real. In distant sectors, overseers delayed punishments. In markets, buyers hesitated. In houses, slaves looked up. All because one human had not begged. The council's voices overlapped now. "We must decide. This is becoming unstable. If we spare him—" The human spoke again softly. "I will not accept freedom if others remain owned." The chamber froze. Vera turned sharply. "What are you doing?" "Choosing," he said. "You could walk away," she whispered. "Yes," he answered, "and then I would disappear." The countdown reached 10 seconds. The council tried to restore order. "Human, your refusal changes nothing. Maybe not today, but it will change someone." 5. A counselor struck the platform. "Vote, now." Systems flashed, decisions locked. 3, 2. The countdown stopped, not at 0, at 1. An alarm sounded, not execution, but emergency suspension. The chamber erupted. "What is this? Who halted it? This is impossible." A counselor stood slowly. The vote failed. Shock rippled through the galaxy. For the first time, there is no consensus. The human closed his eyes for a brief moment, not in relief, in acceptance. The council's voice hardened. "This matter is postponed. The human will be detained."
The broadcast cut, but it was too late. The galaxy had seen. Not a weapon, not a rebellion, a choice. And once seen, it could not be unseen. In the silence that followed, Vera looked at the human and understood the truth at last. He had already won something far more dangerous than freedom. He had started a question, and the galaxy would never stop asking it. The human was not taken to a cell. That alone told the galaxy everything. Instead, he was placed in a quiet chamber. No chains, no collar, no guards inside the room. Only watchers behind walls that pretended to be empty. Detained, the council called it, but detention without control was something new. Across the stars, reactions spread faster than any official message could stop. On factory moons, overseers delayed orders. On trade worlds, buyers hesitated before raising credits. On warships, soldiers asked questions they had never asked before. Not loudly, not yet, but enough. Vera arrived hours later, alone. She stood at the doorway for a long moment, watching the human sit on the floor, hands resting on his knees, eyes closed. He looked smaller than ever, fragile, and yet the galaxy was shaking because of him. "They will not execute you," she said. He opened his eyes. "I know." "They will not free you either." "I know." She stepped inside. "Do you understand what you have done?" He considered the question. "I think I have made things slower," he said. "And slower is how systems notice cracks." Vera exhaled sharply. "You risked everything." "Yes." "For strangers." He nodded. "That is how humans survived ourselves." She studied him as if seeing him for the first time. "You were right," she said quietly, "about my world. It is tired." "So was mine," he replied. News reached them in fragments. A minor house freed its servants, temporarily. An oversight officer resigned. A market on Zorath Prime closed early, for the first time in 1,000 cycles. The council issued statements, strong words, warnings. No one listened the same way anymore. "They will adapt,"
she said. "They always do." "Yes," the human agreed, "but now they must adapt around choice." The council reconvened behind closed channels. This time, no broadcast. They argued for cycles. He is a symbol. Symbols fade, not when they are alive. At last, a decision was made. Not brave, but careful, the kind old powers preferred. The human would be released. Not freed, released. No owner, no title, no protection. They announced it quietly, hoping to avoid attention. They failed. When the human walked out of the council complex beside Vera, cameras were already waiting. Not official ones, personal ones, stolen ones, hidden ones. The image spread everywhere. A human, standing, unowned. The council tried to regain control by rewriting language. Slavery became contracted service. Ownership became custodial authority. But words were weaker now, because people had seen something else. Before parting, Vera stopped him. "You could leave," she said. "Return to your kind. They will make you a hero." He smiled slightly. "Heroes make things simple," he said. "This is not simple." "What will you do?" she asked. "I will stay, talk, listen, help where I can." "That is dangerous." "Yes." She nodded once. Then, without ceremony, she pressed a device into his hand. "What is this?" he asked. "A marker," she said. "It shows you were under my house. And now?" She met his eyes. "Now it shows I let you go." That mattered more than she said. As she turned to leave, she paused. "You never told me your name." The human thought for a moment, then shook his head. "Not yet. Names can wait." She almost smiled. Days passed, then weeks. The galaxy did not collapse. It did not burn. It changed, slowly, quietly. Enough. A slave refused an order and lived. A buyer lowered their hand. A guard looked away. Small choices, human-sized choices. One night, on a world far from the council, a former slave whispered the words everyone now knew. "They thought they owned us." The human heard it and answered softly, not to the crowd, but to the stars. "You can pay for labor. You can buy bodies. You can command fear." He looked up at the vast, dark sky. "But you can never own a choice." And across the galaxy, power finally understood the truth it had always feared. Humans were not dangerous because they were strong. They were dangerous because they chose to be free. And once that idea existed, it could never be owned again.